State court officials recently issued significant orders and plans regarding phasing the court system back into action. Attorney Tom Sinas of Sinas Law Firm joins us live with what the future of Michigan's court system could look like. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Sarah. How are you doing?
We are doing great. We appreciate you being with us. We wanted to start off by asking you what happened this week regarding Michigan's courts and coronavirus.
So what happened this week was really significant and different than what has happened up until now. Up until now, over the last 7 weeks, we've had really all of the different court systems around the state struggling to figure out how to continue to operate on a reduced capacity in light of coronavirus. But on Wednesday, the Michigan Supreme Court, in conjunction with the State Court Administrator's Office, those two having authority over all courts in the state, issued both an order and a very detailed 24-page plan about how courts around the state are going to ultimately resume full capacity. The report is obviously detailed in its length, but it's also detailed in that it sets forth a whole host of phases that these courts will have to go through, 1 through 4, before they can ultimately resume the kind of full operations that we knew before the coronavirus pandemic.
Okay, interesting. So, as they begin that phasing in plan, what exactly is that going to look like?
So what's unique to all these phases is that the court system, each individual court, cannot advance to the following phase unless all 3 of these criteria are met. The first is that there cannot be any COVID-19 cases confirmed or suspected within the 14-day period. The second is there has to be a downward trajectory of coronavirus within the 14-day period in the community. And the third is that the stay-at-home orders have to have been rescinded and the local healthcare system has to have capacity to deal with the coronavirus situation in that particular community. If any of those 3 criteria are not met, the court cannot advance to the next phase and actually has to go back to the previous phase. So those 3 things will be the hallmark of determining whether or not courts can advance through this 4-phase process.
Really? That's fascinating to learn about how they're going to try to shift back to this normal once again. Are there any paradigm shifts that we might see as well?
I think there are. We've already started to see those as lawyers practicing. We've seen the use and continued use and increased use of remote proceedings. And here's what the Supreme Court Administrator's Office actually said that I think really speaks to these paradigm shifts. The Court Administrator's Office said, though there will be a time when litigants and public can return to courtrooms for more proceedings, we must change our philosophy and only require attendance when absolutely necessary. And then the court administrator goes on to say, consequently, conducting virtual proceedings should be a continued fixture in court planning. So I think those are pretty strong words that say that the courts are going to continue for the foreseeable future to use as much remote technology as they can to conduct business remotely, which really is a fundamental paradigm shift because up until this pandemic, most everything that happened in a court happened inside a courthouse.
Yeah, and everything is constantly changing day by day, week by week. So Tom, if people want to get in contact with you so that they can learn more, how can they get in contact with you and the firm?
Well, they can find us online at www.sinusdramus.com. They can give us a call in West Michigan at 616-301-3333. They can shoot us an email at info@sinusdramus.com. And before we go, I just want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, of course. Tom, thanks so much. We always appreciate having you and your time.
Thank you, Sarah. Take care.